We're gonna paint this gray wall. For our member of enjoyingart.com, I'm looking forward to seeing you in our fun and relaxing Friday painting together. If this is your first time to our channel, it's all about making art easy with relaxation. Push like, share, subscribe, and turn on notification. First, let me tell you the brushes that I'm using. I only use two brushes. One is a flat brush, it's gold here. Okay. Take care of the brush, just use the two fingers, right? Just softly massage it every time before you start using it. Okay. Now, the hair very soft, also remove all the bubble, all the air inside the brush here. Now the brush is ready to use. That's very sharp over here, very organized. And this is the calligraphy brush. The calligraphy brush can use for medium and small shapes. And the tip is very sharp, so it's very easy to control. Okay, now put it down over here. What is the aerial perspective? Because of the atmosphere, the air, the dust. When we're looking at the landscape, the things in the very far distance, flat, the color very close to the color of the sky. Object closer and closer to us appear to be more and more contrast and also more color. So this is aerial perspective. So let's do a little composition. So I'm going to use some really light color. I'm going to plant the things at the front over here. So I'm going to move this tower right here. You don't need pencil. I'm going to come in like that. And coming down over here, I'm going to make this a little bit longer and come all the way to the front. This is really the main part of the painting. Coming all the way over here, and think about is all the way now going and going and going into the distance. And then look at the mountain in the background. I'm going to make this one a little bit higher, a little bit taller, like that. And coming over here. And then the other one, I'm going to have a little bit soft mountain over here. And then the very soft, I don't have to draw them. I'm going to give a little suggestions for, right? That is the hill and coming through the hill over here. Okay, now we're ready to paint. I'm going to start the painting from around the sun. This is the winter yellow. And so I'm going to paint it around this spot. Here you go, right there. What I would like to do is to put the color in the surrounding. Lots of people ask me, do you wet the paper before you paint? This is how I wet my paper. I wet the paper as I'm painting the foundation color. So you don't have to just wet the paper first before you add any color. Now I'm going to clean the brush. Just the clean brush, and I'm going to soften the edge over here so I have a glowing feeling. Okay. Take the color out from the center over here, and we have a soft transition, right? Okay, that is good enough. And I'm going to continue with the yellow color. So I'm going to have a little bit more yellow color down over here. Here you go. Now I have a little bit more yellow color over here. Okay, like that, gradually coming in. That's good, right? And you get to use a larger brush, and it just have many reasons that you need to use a large brush. Okay, like that, that's good. Now I'm going to start getting a little red color. Okay, get a little red color. When you have a little red color with the yellow color, get a kind of orange color. And I'm going to start over here, putting this color, and then coming right over here. And here you go. I'm going to have the color coming up over here. Now coming closer to the sun area. And I'm going to do something, changes. I'm going to modify that after this drive. I'm going to have a little bit more orange color, a little bit richer color right over here. And here you go, like that. And coming. Take a look on this side. I'm gonna add not just water. If you just water, it would make it like a too light. So I'm gonna just mix a little yellow orange color. Okay, not lots of water. Now I'm gonna coming over here, coming up. You see that with this color, it actually create a very soft transition from there. So I'm gonna continue coming down over here, and the color get lighter and lighter in between over there. So I'm gonna get, looks like a little brown color. So I'm going to take a little brown color mixed with the yellow, red, and the blue color. And I'm gonna put a little brown color right over here, like that. And that's good. And then go around over here. That is fine. And continue just with the, maybe a little bit blue color. I'm gonna take a little blue color over here. So make it a little cooler, right? My table is a little tilted. I'm gonna let it come down all the way over here. Or if you want, you can start adding some color, a little yellow, red, and have a little blue, a little bit warm color. You can put that over here for the foundation of the wall if you want to, and you can put those color there, and also put a little color over here to prepare for the mountain. But we can do that after the whole thing dries, and then create a little bit more clear shape. Now the color already dried. Now you can see all those beautiful smooth transition over here just because of the water. The water doing the work for us. So I'm gonna come back with the 1-inch flat brush. I'm gonna use this brush. It's gonna for a little while before I change it to the calligraphy brush. Now I'm gonna get a little red color, a very soft red color. Now let's take a look. I'm gonna have a little bit suggestions, and that probably too dark. So I'm gonna let go some of the color with water. Now I'm gonna come back just a little soft suggestions, like over here, suggesting there's a mountain blocking the light. A little bit like that, a little bit like that. Just, you don't need lots of contrast because there's just really far away. Okay, if you make the contrast too much, it would actually make it feel like really close to us. We don't want to have that feeling really close, right? So that's just good. Over here, I'm gonna have a little orange color over there. So I'm gonna have a little yellow and get a little red. Just use the corner of the brush. Okay, just a little red, and that's a little bit more red. Tap on it, and that's just good. A little bit more. And you can see that this side have a little bit more orange color. This side have a little bit more yellow. Just that's how I lay the brush like this. See that? One brush. You already set the transition. And I'm going to clean my brush. And I'm going to just use the clean brush. Okay, not lots of water. Now soften this transition right over here. Like that. So it's very easy to set the color into that. So this is good. I may go in to set a little bit distant color over there, but right now I'm going to put this mountain a little bit more like a light yellow brown color. So I'm going to take that, but it's not really dark. You have to thinking about how dark is the color before you think about the colors. That is a little red, and look at that. How dark is it? Now have a little blue color over here, but I need a little bit more red, like that. And think about some little yellow. Okay, just between the three colors, you can always mix any color you need. Okay, a little bit of that, but I'm not sure it's too dark. Now I'm gonna let go some of it. I don't really need a lot of color. Let's take a look. So here you go. I think it's about right, the right value. So I'm gonna put this a little bit higher, like that, coming over. Yeah, here you go. So when you're painting the color in the background, it's okay to paint on the entire area, except when you get to the wall, it will be different color. So I'm gonna stop over here, like that. That's good. I'm gonna have the edge over here coming a little bit higher, going up, like that. Now I'm going to just use the water to soften that over here. There's a little soft mountain over here. Just use this same color. I'm gonna have a little bit over here, a little soft, but I don't want to connect with that color. So like this. very soft. Here you go, like that. That's good. Okay, now on this side, also use this very soft color like that. See a little soft mountain. Okay, this is good. How to fix a painting if some colors may be too dark and some texture that I don't want it. For example, I don't really like this color over here. This look like a little bit muddy. I want this a little bit softer. How we're gonna do that? You have to use this flat brush because have a lot of hair, very easy to lift up the color. You can remove texture. Just have the water. Now I'm gonna put it over here, and if you have texture, I'm gonna soften this whole area by first apply water to it. I'm gonna also put it over here too. I don't want that so obvious. So now this kind of motion. Here you go. By moving back and forth a few times, like this. Now this area get lighter. And now you're looking at it, say, do I feel comfortable already? Should I do a little bit more? I'm gonna with the circulate. I want to lift up a little bit more. Like that. Let go all the wet with the 2 fingers. Let it go, right? And I'll come back over here. You can start lifting up those softened colors. Okay, put it up over here. That's good, right? You can still remain the smooth area, but at the same time, you can also adjusting the color. Okay, now this problem fixed. And I'll come back over here. I'm going to just use the corner of the brush because I only need a very space to be lighter. I'm going to leave it. You can use both corner. Okay, I'll do it like that. I'm going to have the light and coming in into this space. So make the illusion that the sun actually shine through this space like that. Okay. Just the side, the corner. And I just create the illusion already. Now I'm going to lift it up, lift up the wet. Now from here, we're going to use the calligraphy brush because I'm going to render some smaller shapes. So I'm just going to take some water. The whole thing already dry. It's very important. And I'm going to have the color over here very little bit lighter. But you don't want to use like too much blue. You're going to still use a little bit of this color. And any color that you put in here, you can create the illusion of something else. Over there, that's good. A little bit over here, like that. You see that? A little bit put into it, and actually, you can make it feel like, oh, there must be a mountain over there. And I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna make this mountain. And actually, you don't have to have the colors too dark from this one. You can use the same color that you use. If you put it on top of that, it create the illusion, make it feeling much darker. So I'm going to have this, and I'm going to, looks like a little bit too bright. So pick a little bit blue color into it, like that. Here you go. And that is become a little bit neutral. Okay, like that. Here you go. Coming like this. Like over here. So that is fine. Like that. Even come over here. So now I'm going to leave a little bit in the middle over here, a little bit lighter. That's fine, like that. Okay. I want to have a little bit more contrast in this shape than the mountain behind this. And you can make this even more detail, more contrast, if you want to make this feel like closer to us. Like a really subtle changes, it actually create more feeling that actually the mountain closer and closer to us. I'm gonna come into paint the shape of this tower. So I'm gonna just take the orange color. This is good. When you try to get a color, you first look for in the mixing area, what color you already have. I think this color is perfect. Okay, I'm gonna put it right over here. Looking for the shape. Don't think about anything else, just the shape. Okay, like this. Looking, coming down this way. looking for that is, I think, a little bit wider and at the bottom. Okay, that's good. And put over here like that. So that's good. And I just paint the general colors to this whole shape. And in fact, on this side, I have a little bit more blue. The other side, I have a little bit lighter. But I will separate them afterward. Okay. So now on this side, I'm going to have some color a little bit darker. But I would apply the darker color a little bit later because I don't want this color affecting into here. Because this color kind of touching to each other. So coming down over here. Now, and then I'm going to change it to a little bit warmer color. You see the color changing as you going down from the top, and have a little bit orange color, also a little bit darker. Squint your eye to see how dark the color is. Okay, and it's just take a little bit blue, a little bit yellow right here. See that? This is the color, and I'm going to make the top a little bit moving a little bit. Like, here you go, like that. So this portion of the wall, that's good. Now on the other side, I'm going to start add a little more water. Okay, a little bit water. Now coming down over here, and now look a little bit lighter. And here you go. And when it's a little bit lighter, it appears to be a little bit away from us. Okay, now add a little bit more water again, and continue. Right, just the same color coming down, but it's get a little bit lighter and lighter. By using the lighter value from the mountain, and it will looks enough separation and showing this is the wall coming down. Okay, that's good. Now we very much finish the part over here. I'm going to also apply some of the color at the front over here. Have a little bit more red, a little bit brighter color. So just the light red color right there. Okay, this is what you're facing to the sun. Just a little red color. Put it here. And whatever the color you put on the painting right now, it may not be the color that you want to continue. You might want to change them because we don't have other colors yet. After we have all the other color together, you're going to see that color is too light or too dark. Okay, like that over here. Why don't I just set some color into the mountain right now to see how dark is it. So let me mix the little darker color. And this definitely a dark brown color. So I'm going to get some yellow, some red, and some blue color. A little bit more blue. So I'm going to take a look at. It could be this dark. Okay, look at that. And we squint your eye. Is that this dark? I think it's this dark. I'm not sure I'm right. I'm just going to put it here. Like that. It's coming from here. This is the part. I'm going to put the green on the top and a little bit later. So like this. I can moving that a little bit. I'm going to try to create some darker color because that is right at it's the shadow side of the hill. I'm going to come over here as the wall like that. I'm going to make this a little bit more contrast. I'm going to use the water, just apply the color right over there. This is the part maybe make you feel puzzled a little bit. Really that dark? And you compare this color to the wall over here, it's actually darker than the wall over here, right? So if you don't have that dark enough, it doesn't feel like it have a proper value contrast. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to put this color for here, and I put a little bit color over here too, and you can see a little bit opening of the mountain. And I also make this a little bit curve, changing the form like that. That's good. Now I'm going to show you how I apply the green color. And the green color in the background, it need to be less bright, but the green color over here is very, very bright, right? So you want to take the yellow color, a little green color, but it's quite a bit of red, and you can make the color look a little bit more blue again, a little bit more as in the distance. I'm going to have it here. like that. And now coming over here, here you go. And it's a little bit soft, that's fine. Okay, like that. And you can have the color on this side is much darker. So I'm gonna have a little bit of the blue and the red color. Now I'm gonna just set it right here. See that this color, I want you to see the value of the color. Okay, not just see the color alone. You need to see that, oh, how dark is that color. Okay, I'm gonna have this color right here. I'm gonna add a little bit dark color over here too, since it's still wet, like that. So seeing the hue a little bit changing. It's the same color on this side. Also apply the same color over here, just like this. And a little yellow, a little bit blue, like that. Doesn't need to be very bright. So I'm gonna put it right here. Like that. Coming up over here, like that. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna have darker color. Okay, red, blue color, and filling in over here. Add a little bit more red. I'm gonna just have the red color. Have a little tree over here. Like that. It's very little. Here you go, like that. You see that? That actually getting the sun. And like the backlight is beautiful, like that. And also including the tree, the top over here. That just tap, and you can create a illusion. A little bit yellow color. Now I'm gonna set a little color in here. And maybe this color is gonna push it, will create texture. That will be fine, okay? You don't want to worry too much, okay? And now I'm gonna get yellow. Now here you go. I'm gonna make a little green color. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually have this color when it's still wet. I'm gonna set this in. And it's still wet. You got to do it wet into wet, like that. Okay, a little bit in. So this color, actually set that in to merge into the dark color that I already have. Let's see. I have this a little bit straight. That's good. Okay. So I have a nice blending. Okay, it's good. And you can also add some green color. This color much brighter when it gets closer to us. That's a part of aerial perspective. I'm going to take this very bright color. I'm going to put it right here, but this is too light. Okay, it doesn't look like in the morning. So I'm going to set this little color here first. So when I set the color, I don't actually merge them. I leave a little gap and make it a little feeling that you can add some color in between. Okay, like that here. Here you go. Now I'm going to make the color dimmer a little bit. I'm going to add a little red, so make it less bright. So there's too much red. I'm going to set the color one more time. I'm going to have this color, and I'm going to add a little bit red, so a little bit warmer in the morning. So I'm going to set that as color. You see, by having the brighter color at the foreground, it really helping to make it feel that is closer, much closer to us in the foreground, right here, like that. Here you go. Now I'm gonna have the color a little bit darker, like that. Now tap on it. Now you see that some of the gap, it would actually reserve it to have some various changes. Okay, I'm gonna come back over here to make it a little bit darker. Now I'm gonna also keep a little land, a little. Here you go. Even though it need to be darker a little bit. So coming over here, and then I'm gonna have something a little bit darker. I'm gonna take this color a little bit darker. Here you go. Some you can have some nice contrast. You know, when the object's closer to us, they have more contrast. What contrast means? And the value contrast is darker and lighter color. So the thing in the background, it doesn't have much contrast, even more flat color. When it's flat and showing that is farther away from us, I'm going to set a little bit dark color next to it. That's just to create a value contrast. I'm going to have this. So it just create that feeling of the hill. Now I'm going to come back over here on this side. I'm going to make it a little bit, just tap on it to have some shape over here like that. That's a little bit over there. That's good. Okay, a little bit red, a little bit green like that. Okay, here you go. I'm going to give a little bit more over here. You know, this brush is very easy to control the shape and also taking lots of color until you want to change the color. Now I'm going to add two things here. One on this side, so create a contrast between the wall and the mountain behind us. I'm looking at what the color would be, and I'm going to take this color, a little bit cooler color, not exactly that much brown. So like this would be good. The value is very important. I just want to make this showing a little bit more, but you need to thinking about that. Is showing too much? If they're showing too much, you need to stop, right? So I'm going to have a little bit brighter color, and then I'm going to clean the brush and let go most of the wet. I'm going to come in here to have that, make it a little bit, slightly a little bit lighter. Okay, like that. That's good. On the other side, it's also a little bit lighter. So now you see that the wall between here and the background now have a little bit more contrast. Maybe the contrast too much. In that case, you can always reduce the difference. Okay, like that. I'm gonna have the color blend it a little bit, make it a little bit lighter, like that. And at the same time, I can add a little bit this kind of red color. I'm gonna make this side of the mountain is this color very light. Make it a little bit more difference, and it's just overlaid a very light color. That's good, like that. That's all you need. So the contrast, it indicates the distance. It's very crucial, right? And the next thing, I'm going to use the flat brush to do some lifting. Now I'm going to still have like a half load of water. Now what I want to do, I'm going to just use the sideway. See that? I just lift up a little color. So make this suggestion to showing this the hill after turning over. Okay, I'm gonna have it like that. It's very easy to organize. And if you think it's just a little bit too great, you want to have some bright color, and then you can mix the brighter green color on the top over here and just tap on it, and the color will become brighter. Like that. So we can reorganize this. That's good. Like that. And then over here too, I'm gonna make this a little bit dimmer. And also the top over here, I want it to be a little bit lighter. By using lifting off techniques, you can create the very correct suggestions. Okay, that's good, like that. I'm also going to put some darker color over here, filled in this space. That's good. Now I'm gonna change back to the calligraphy brush. Let's take a look at. On this side, I can have some even a little bit darker color like this, and give it a little bit green color like that. But this color is not really bright. That's just showing this is in the shadow, the plane in the shadow, like that. That's good. Now I'm going to take a look at over here. We need to have some changes of colors. So just get the dark color right over here. Here you go, like that. And then have separate into a smaller shape. Oh, that's much better. Now I'm gonna have a little bit texture over here, showing a little bit details. Okay, make it a little bit random. That's good. Okay, now I'm gonna walk into the tower over here, and I'm gonna look at on the shadow side a little bit brown, of course a little bit blue. So I'm gonna take a little bit blue, a little bit red color, and this, but also a little bit more red. Add a little yellow too. I think this is good. Now I'm gonna looking for the separation between the light side and the shadow side. That's good, like that. Alright, now I'm gonna wash this color coming down, but add a little water to it. Here you go. Now coming down like this. Now you can separate the light side and the shadow side. Now also on the wall over here, it has also some shadows, the same color. And coming over here, like that. And the bottom still a little wet, so I'm gonna be a little bit careful. So let go most of the water and just come back over here. Then gradually let it coming down like this, not let too much water coming down. So we can come back to fine tune that a little bit later. Okay, that is good for that. Make this a little bit softer. It's good. Now I'm gonna have just a little, very little color, get all the details on the light side. Okay, like that, that's good. Have a little suggestions. Like that, just tap on it. That's good. Right? And we'll come back to those more details a little bit later. Okay, now I'll get away from that. Now we'll come to add a little darker color on this side. So I'm going to mix a little bit darker brown color. Take the red and some yellow color and it's a little blue. I already have some blue color over there. So a little bit more red. Just think about how dark's the color and what color is it. So I think this is a good color. Yes, here you go. Like this. That's good. And they actually have a little bit hole. I can see through that to the other side. So that's good. I'm coming down over here. That's a one side of the wall. Now actually this can be softly blend in, but I'm gonna have a little bit red orange color before I do that. Like that. That's good. Now it's a good connection over here. Just use. And now we're gonna put some color on the shadow side over here. Looks a little bit purple color, so that means some red color and have a little bit blue color, and that is pretty good. Let's try it. Like a little bit purplish color. So looks good. There you go. I'm just gonna keep a little purple. That's fine. And maybe too bright, so I'm going to add the Windsor blue green shade and mix in here. Maybe this good color, like that. A little bit. That's good. Connect it up. So you have some changes of color on the top here. Now I'm going to come back to take a look at this wall. I'm going to first put some color to the shadow side of this tower. I'm gonna put it right there and keep it coming down. Here you go, like this, and have a little shape. That's good. Looking for shapes. Okay, you know what it is. The next thing you need to think about being helpful is just the shape. Now inside over here, I'm gonna have a little bit brighter color. So I'm gonna have a little yellow, a little red. The bright color usually is orange. I'm gonna take this color. And you don't want to rush to try to paint the details on that. No need to, because the details on top of this color. Okay, like that. That's good. I'm gonna keep that like that. I'm gonna have a little bit line over here, and then I'm gonna fix the color on this side of the wall. I don't think it's not that light. I'm gonna have a little color like that. That's just too dark, so I'm gonna adjust the water, dilute it right on the paper. That's good. I like that color. A little bit of that is good, like that, and have a little bit details, but don't touch that color, okay? Because we're not ready, because that is still pretty wet. I'm gonna have this a little wall over here, connect that too. I'm gonna take a look over here on this side. I'm gonna have a little dry brush to create the texture, right? Like this. See that? It's very simple. That, because that is closest to us. That's good. Like that. A little texture. That's good. And we're gonna come back to for more details a little bit later. Let's take a look at anything else we can do while we're waiting to be dry over here. Now I'm going to take a look at that is a tower over here. So I'm going to put the tower actually here. How about that? And I'm going to take this very much the same color, like an orange-ness color. I'm going to take this color. I'm going to take a look at just paint another shape on the top. That's good. The shape over here. And I'm going to have a little bit higher, a few shapes. That's good, like that. And coming down over here, it's just looking for the smaller shape. Okay, coming in here. Okay, that's good. And that is suggestions for on this side. On the other side, it looks like I need to light up a little color, or maybe not light up the color over there, but we can add the little color here, so leave a little gap. So it's all about contrast. If you have the darker color next to it, it will make the gap to look a little bit lighter. You see that? Now it's all worked out fine. And at the top, I can make the outside a little bit darker. I can make it look like there is the gap over there, like that. That's good. Pretty easy. Okay. Now I'm gonna add a little bit details. A little bit. Don't have to be a lot. So think about how far that from us and how important it is. Just add a little shape. Okay, just a little shape over here. Like that. See that? That is good enough to showing maybe a little bit warmer, a little bit yellow, a little bit orange. Here you go. Like that. It's already very good. On the top over there, I'm going to have a little green color, but not at this time. I'm going to a little bit farther away, also from distance. Also going to give a little bit suggestions of the wall. That should be good enough. Okay, that looks good. And now I come back to the tower over here. Now I'm going to mix a little bit, just a little bit too much water. I'm going to leave it up a little bit drier. Okay, I'm going to come back to give it some, because that is almost our This is the focal point. I'm going to mix a little bit darker color, but not too dark. That should be good enough. Add a little water. Okay. Now what I want, I'm going to take a look at. Let's first do the middle one. It's right here. Put it down, one stroke. Another one. Another one over here. That's good. And on the other side, very much the same color because the shadow. And here, one, and another one. And get a little bit lighter. Add a little water. So, have another one, and also another one over here. Now I'm going to add that little suggestions for the top over here. A little detail. That's good. Now coming down over here, now I'm going to add a little bit blue color. You can sense it. And what color is that? Just add a little blue color over here with the brush. And see that? It's the right color at the bottom. Like that. That's good. Okay, I think that tower we already finished. Now, I think it's the time that's already dry on the wall. Now I'm going to put the green color on top of that. So I'm going to take the yellow color directly mix into this color. Maybe a little bit blue, like a little bit too much. So that's good. Now I'm going to put that color in here. Okay, I'm still seeing a little bit light shape on this side. It's a little bit, so I'm going to keep that light shape. And here you go. Coming down over here. If you see the light shape on the wall, keep it. Okay, now I'm going to stop because the color get a little bit lighter from here. So I'm going to put that in here. This is still wet, so I'm going to be a little careful. I'm going to stop that right there. But the top over here, I can put a little green color, and a little green color over here. I don't put it the whole shape because I'm going to put some lighter shape. I'm going to get the yellow color and have a little bit green color. That's good. Get the yellow green color with the green shape green shade Windsor blue. So I'm going to have it. See that this color merged together. That's nice. We probably still need to come back to give some little detail suggestions. But put this color here first and let them merge together. That will be fine. That looks good. Over here, have a little bit light shape over here. On this side, also have a little light shape like that. That create enough contrast. Okay. Now, looks like there's some orange color over there. So what I'm gonna do, have the red, have a little yellow color, right? Feeling a little bit orange color, like that. That's good. A little orange color. Okay. And now I'll come back here. Now ready. I'm gonna make the other side look a little bit, create a little bit more contrast. In that case, I'm gonna take this color, make a little lighter. Now let's see. I'm gonna just paint it around the shape over here. You see that? Now that's all you need, and to create the illusion of the light side of the tower. Like that. That's good. And over here, I also can have a little bit gray color, and over here too, and give a little suggestions of a little closer hill of the mountain in the back. See that? So you can gradually render a little bit more and more suggestions. And on the mountain here, I also can add a little bit shape over here. And if you feel like you're already doing too much, it's just easy. Just take it out, let it go. But it's important to open up your feeling. Okay, if you don't checking with your feelings, and it maybe end up to be the wrong thing to do. It's not really what you want to do. Okay. Okay. Now it's time to come back over here. See that everything is kind of keep rotating. And I'm gonna have some dark color. See this is much closer to us compared to that tower, right? So I'm gonna have some really dark, a little bit suggestions here, really dark like that, and that should be good enough. And a little bit more texture over here like that, a few more dry brush, and also that dry brush can be over here too, but this is still wet. And here you go, a little bit more at the front. That's good. So that is aerial perspective. By suggesting what is actually closer to us, more contrast, I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna coming over here to add some enough noises on this. There's a little noises over here. I'm gonna make this a little bit darker on the top over here, and just take a little bit gray color and a little bit red. That's good. Now I'm gonna have this the top over here, have a little separation from the wall, and here you go. Now we're just doing a little last touch and have a little line coming down over here like that. And here you go, have a little bit soft transition coming down over here, and I come back here too. And I'm gonna have a little line on this side. Okay, so this is enough suggestions. If there's too dark, it's just lift it up, make it a little lighter, like that. Okay, it's come along pretty well. On this side, I'm gonna have some darker color, have some red, mix it into here, make it a little bit warmer, and a little blue color. Here you go. I'm gonna have it a little bit shape over here for the little door at the bottom, and I'm gonna have maybe a little bit lighter, like that. I'm gonna come in here to have, let's take a look at 1, 2, 3, 4 different shapes right over here. Okay, that's good. And then add some detail on the top over here. Have a little gray color. Okay, a little bit gray color on the top over here. There you go. Have some detail over there to give the suggestions of the wall, and a little, because it's this so close to us, so it's okay to add some detail too. So have a little bit darker color over here, have a little dry line like that. That looks very close to us,